Hey everyone, Jonathan Cassars at USAGOLD here. If I told you that I had the one secret to successful investing, the one thing that you could invest in and it would never fail you, would you believe me? Probably not. Or you just think I was going to say gold next. Not going to say that either. But here's what I'm getting at. I believe that if you invest in scarcity, you cannot go wrong. Here's what I mean. It's not like you can just invest in scarcity, right? Because if you go buy something that there's only one of, but nobody cares, right? Well, then it's not worth anything. It's only worth something to you. It's the combination of scarcity and demand that is transformative, that is the way to secure your financial future. And I find it really interesting because I think a lot of investors actually do understand the concept of scarcity. And some of them are using scarcity as a driving force of their investment decisions. Others, it happens more by accident. Like you could have somebody who buys a really nice house in a nice neighborhood on a great block. And that obviously is scarcity. They do it because they want to be in the nice neighborhood on the nice block, blah, 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 right? But they're actually investing in scarcity because that's something that other people desire and there's only so much of it available. Those are generally really good investments. Same could be said of like oceanfront property, right? Or lakefront property. Those things are always in demand. And you contrast that with something like, some of these neighborhoods in Florida that are doing so poorly, where you have multiple houses within the neighborhood, all for sale. They all look exactly the same. They're all in exactly the same location, far away from the city center, and they're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And it's one of the weakest housing markets in the whole country. So it's exactly the opposite, right? And then you have situations where scarcity has become such an attractive part of human behavior that you have scarcity being actually fabricated to create value. So take like this Caitlin Clark card, right? 1 of 1. The card company only makes one. She signs it. They release it. Somebody gets lucky and gets it. And it auctions for $650,000. One single card. It's just craziness, right? But it's scarcity principles playing out in an investment market. And why am I talking about it? Well, because frankly, there are huge parts of the gold market where scarcity is profoundly attractive. And I mean that in the sense of these markets are so unbelievably small compared to what is out there in the world. And it would take so little interest in these markets to see a transformative change in them that I want to start talking about it. I want to start exploring these markets. I want to start explaining these markets to people so that they can understand just how much of an opportunity the scarcity principle has within the gold market itself. And that's the key, is it's not just scarcity and demand, it's where you are in the demand curve as it relates to that scarcity. Because if you are buying scarcity when there's a ton of demand, you're going to pay a huge premium for that scarcity, right? Maybe you're the last idiot that buys it right before nobody cares anymore and then it crashes. But if you're buying something that has a ton of scarcity and not a lot of demand at the moment, well, you're more of an early adopter. And it's like the people that bought Bitcoin sub 1,000, right? Tons of scarcity, but not a lot of adoption yet. And look at what happened. So I think there are definitely some areas of the gold market that deserve attention with this principle in mind. And that is what I'm going to talk about in the weeks and months ahead. I'm going to dissect this entire market. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to explain to people in a super transparent way all the different options that are available to them, the different rationale behind them, and why it's so exciting and potentially explosive for investors. So I invite you to stay tuned.